Hey everybody, welcome back. Devin, the OG, the original Grognard, back with another video. I know, this is what, the second one in a couple days? Wow, ever since I got out of research mode, I'm just burning up the airwaves with videos. This one, kind of an unexpected one. Hadn't planned on doing this, but it seems that I was tagged. And back in my day, tagging someone probably wasn't the most polite thing you could do, but I'm a modern with it. No, I'm not. I'm not with it. I was tagged. It's a thing that's going around right now, kind of in the wargaming YouTube creator content creator community of what three hobbies do you have other than wargaming? And I was tagged by Fritz from Dash of Elan Gaming and GM's Alcove. So go over and check out his YouTube channel. I should have wrote down what Facebook group he's associated with, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. But just go ahead and search Dash of Alani. He's on Twitch as well. So if Twitch is your groove thing, and he has a pretty cool thing. He does a paint and chats a couple times a week. But he gets on and a bunch of other people get on, and they do it on like Wednesdays and Sundays. And they just don't do it for like, 2 or 3 hours. They go like 5 or 6 hours. But he does a lot of miniatures gaming, but he does a lot of tabletop gaming as well. He's getting back into Advanced Squad Leader. He's been doing some great battles of the American Revolution here recently. So go check out his stuff. He's really good stuff. So I got tagged with this, and I need to explain 3 hobbies other than wargaming I have. And I was a little bit confused at first because I didn't understand the question. Hobbies other than wargaming? Oh, okay. I think I know what you mean. Things that I do other than wargaming. I don't know if I had any, and I actually had to sit down and think, but so much of what I do with my free time is related to military history and wargaming of some sort. I can't really say military history is a hobby because it ties so close hand to hand with my wargaming. Am I an amateur historian? Am I a wargamer? Depends on which day of the week you ask me. It's just very thin razor line. I mean, take a look at just a small selection of my library, and I probably have in my life had 5 times those amount of books. So I can't really say military history is a hobby because it and wargaming are one and the same to me. So it's like, all right, so I'm gonna have to come up with something else. So I sat and I hemmed and I hawed and I thought about this, and I realized, yeah, I don't have very many hobbies outside of wargaming. I have a lot of interests, but so I came up with a couple of them. One of them is aquariums. I love fish tanks. I love my fish. When I was about 7 years old, Mom and Dad went ahead and bought us a fish tank. My sister and I, it was a little 10-gallon tank, and it was a piece of garbage. And I didn't even have a filtration system on it. It had one of those air bubble pumps in it. We had one of the little chests that would bloop up, and we never cleaned the tank, and we could only keep a couple 3 neon tetras alive in it. But I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And, it started teaching me some responsibilities of, hey, this is a living thing. I need to take care of it. I need to feed it. Of course, back in the 70s, we didn't have the internet, and so we didn't have the knowledge to be able to properly keep a tank. Of course, it was a 10-gallon, so, whatever. I had that 10-gallon tank until high school. I mean, I kept it. It was in my room on my dresser, and I had that tank, and I finally had to get rid of it when I went into the service. Of course, I think I only had like 2 fish in it at the time. So, but again, it was a 10-gallon tank. So I was in the service for several years. Pretty much immediately, as soon as I got out, I set up that tank again. The first apartment I had after I got out of the service, set that 10-gallon tank up again. And I was still a novice aquariumist, but I had a filter in it this time. Wasn't a very good one. I didn't do the job the way it was supposed to. And I had that for a few years. Then I decided, all right, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this right. So I upgraded to a 20-gallon aquarium. Yeah, I know, 20. But I had that thing for years, probably 12 years. And I got more into it. I started learning the over the back filters and how to clean it properly with siphoning and, the proper care and maintenance of a successful aquarium. And a couple, 3 years ago, my roommate decided, well, we need to get you a bigger tank. So she picked me up a 36-gallon Beaufort. So now I've almost got a real aquarium. Fortunately, we can't get much bigger than that because of the restrictions in the apartment. So I've got that tank, and then my roommate has also got a 26-gallon tank in her room. So I take care of that tank as well. And I've got a 10-gallon and a 2-gallon sitting under my cupboards over there. And I'll be honest, sometimes I think, I could turn that 2-gallon into a beta tank and the 10-gallon into it. No, 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 no. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to have 20 tanks in the house, but it's tempting sometimes. So I love my aquariums and love my fish tank. It is probably the only hobby that I've had longer than wargaming. And kind of so my second hobby right after that, I really 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 enjoy paleontology. I like dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are cool. All little boys like dinosaurs. All cool little boys like dinosaurs, and I just never kind of grew out of it. I mean, I suppose all guys still hang on to some passion and obsession sometimes with dinosaurs. Of course, as you get older, you start reading more, you start understanding more, and I'll go through fits and phases. Sometimes I won't touch it for you know months at a time, and then I'll get on a big kick in and see what all the latest discoveries that have been made and what we've discovered just through fossil records. I mean, I remember back when I was in the '70s, it was science that the large dinosaurs had a tiny brain in their tail. That was science back then. We know better now. Stegosauruses didn't have a brain in their tail. Back in the '70s, Tyrannosaurus rex stood on their hind legs, and they were more related to lizards. No, they're more related to birds now. They're kind of like big chickens, and their tails aren't on the ground. The tail's a counterbalance, and they move parallel to the ground. And it's just paleontology is the one science that I enjoy the most because it is continually evolving. See what I did there? Evolution. Anyway, that's science humor. Um, our opinions, thoughts, and theories about ancient creatures are continually evolving with what we are continually learning. And anybody who says the science is decided is a friggin' moron. One of the things about science is the continually searching for answers. Back in the '70s, we knew dinosaurs had brains in their tail. We knew Tyrannosauruses stood a certain way. No, I mean it's changes from year to year. We're finding out new information. It's like, for example, the Spinosaurus. The first Spinosaurus was discovered in 1913 something, and the bones were kept in the Munich Museum. Unfortunately, Munich did not survive World War II real well, and so all records of Spinosaurus or whatever black and white photos and whatever artistry the archaeologist had for it, and so we had an idea what Spinosaurus was. But in the last 4 or 5 years, we found, or we haven't, scientists, archaeologists have found several more Spinosaurus that even in the last 3 or 4 years, it's like, all right, this is what Spinosaurus was. It was a scavenger. And then, well, no, now it looks like it was more of a crocodile, and it was a stalker hunter, and, it hunted wetlands, and the Spinosaurus is very, very interesting. The changes even in the last 4 or 5 years on what we think we know about the Spinosaurus has just radically changed. So that's one of the things I love about paleontology, is because it is always continually evolving and changing, and that's what science should be. So yeah, paleontology. I like paleontology. For a third hobby, I guess you could say working with my hands. Um, my father is a handyman from the word go. Mechanical engineer, college degree. He grew up He was born and raised on a farm in North Dakota, and I don't even think they had electricity to the house until he was like 8 or 9. So you kind of had to make do with what you had on the farm at the time. And, my grandfather, my uncles, my dad all knew how to work with their hands. My Uncle Vern became a lifelong carpenter. He's done carpentry his entire life. My dad, mechanical engineer. My dad designed for Beal Transliner some of the tanker rigs, the big 40-foot tankers that you see out driving on the road that transport hazardous fluids, oils, and gases and chemicals and such like that. Dad designed some of those. I've never really wanted to work with my hands. I just kind of have been thrown into it because I like helping my father, and that's what my father does. My father cannot stop moving. Man's 75 years old, and he's still going as strong as he can for being 75 years old. I mean, for those who have been following my channel know that, for the last year and a half, Dad and I have been refurbishing the house. Well, they got the house sold, and they moved into the new one, and we've got a dozen projects that we're working on, and I was up there today, and we're working on his workshop. We're putting new siding up. We got fascia board skirting that we need to replace. We're getting the drainage pipes buried, and it's just working with my hands. It is kind of a hobby, I guess. I know how to do a lot of things. I mean, gardening, working with my hands when it comes to gardening. I would help my father in his garden, high school, after I got out of high school, in the service, or after I got out of the service. I mean, I can jar and pickle and most any vegetable that's out there. I know how to do that because I've been taught how to. I get a degree of enjoyment. I don't go looking to do it, but there's a degree of enjoyment that comes with me working with my hands. And I know woodworking. I've done back when I was playing miniature games. I did presentation boards pretty much for my entire club, and they were nice, felt covered with this elaborate trim, wood carved presentation boards for our miniature armies. So, yeah, I guess you can say those are kind of the three hobbies that I have outside of wargaming. I'm sure a couple of those are probably surprising to people who know me. I'm kind of tight-lipped about things that aren't wargaming. Like I thought, it's such a huge part of my life. But, so yeah, there, I've been tagged. Through the heart. So yeah, and for that, you should go check out Fritz over at Touch of the Lawn and thank him for tagging me. Now, who do I want to tag? This is the one thing about tagging I hate. They say tag 3 people. I wish I could tag everybody out there is a YouTube content creator because I'm interested in knowing what everybody's hobbies are. So, you know what? Screw it. If you're a content creator, if you're watching this, you want to do your own video, go for it. You could say I tagged you. There. Treat everybody the same. Yeah, that's me being big and magnanimous for the day. There are people I am interested in hearing from, mostly, but these always come down to being like kind of popularity contests. I mean, you kind of sit back and say, "Oh, I don't care," but then you're listening. Did he choose me? Did he choose me? Did he choose me? So I'm not going to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings unless you've earned me hurting your feelings. And if you have, you'll know it. My acidic tongue, it does not stay in my mouth when you've earned my ire. But other than that, I have people in mind I would love to hear from. And I don't want to offend anybody by not mentioning them. So I'm just going to say everybody. So there you go. Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms in the comment section. I'll see everybody next time. See ya.